Hey there. Hey there, future viewer. Just waiting on some people to jump in if YouTube decides to let people know that I'm live. What's up, Deadshot? Mike Dude, what's up? Yay. Another yapping stream. Hey, Munnifin. How's it going? Flaccid Schlong. How's it going, man? Any word on Alone being added to Spotify? There is a word. The word is that it is. Right on, Yumi. You are welcome. Mr. Justin, hold on a second there. Let's do some surgery here. And of course, I can't make you super moderator because why would they put that option right here where I could actually do it? That would be easy and make sense. Teru, hello. Chronic, what's going on? Gavin, Frog Dog, YouTube, Smoke Infinity, Simply Dark, Vortex. How do the big YouTubers, like real YouTubers, do it when they have like thousands of people with messages just flying past? Clearly they don't answer everybody, right? You'd have to be like that Micro Machines guy back in the 90s. That would actually be a stream that would be worth watching, I think. Any new music? I'm sure there's tons of new music. Where's Elena? Probably wherever she is. Would I ever learn to play real drums? I mean, I know how to play them, just not that well. But now in my life, I don't need to play them in order to get what I want out there to who I want in the volume that I want. That's the problem. There has to be incentive. If I thought becoming like an amazing drummer would get me further or do something, I would do it, but the amount of time it would take doesn't equal the payoff. The rate of return. I play COD. I haven't lately. Have I taught anyone guitar? I have. I used to do guitar lessons before I even went to college. And then after, before I worked in games. Adding Alone to Spotify is something I've been waiting for. Right on. Yeah, it's there. Questions, not comments? I forget what we're talking about now. I play 8-string, right? Yes. Most of my songs, I'm using a Halo Octavia 8-string. What are you guys doing tonight? What's going on? What is today? Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Is there any reason why your both 3 songs were on Spotify? I mean, there was a whole mishmash of songs that just weren't available for streaming, and there was a supposed reason back when the other ones were, you know, like Coming Home wasn't released, but the other ones at the time were. It just, there's no good reason. Just finished studying. Oh, nice. Studying what? Will there be another event like the choir? Maybe. How long have I been playing 8-string? I basically bought my 8-string when I wrote Lullaby. Because I wrote the chord progression, I thought, I should get one of them there 8 strings. And then I did. And that's when it started. James C. Burns is streaming? That's funny. You know, James and I did a Wizard Con together back in 2008, 11, somewhere back then. Demzion, what do you use to get your tone on songs like Dead Again? I was using just, my own patches I made on Podfarm. If you're interested, I could probably, I have to use Podfarm too. I still have the hardware to make it work. I might be able to just get them, export them if you'd be interested to see like exactly what the amps were and what the settings were. Just give them away. I saw your throwback clip of working on vocals and mystery. Recording studio looks cool. Yeah. We're no longer in that building, but yeah, that was cool back then. Med school. Oof. You got a lot of school to go, huh? Well, I guess not too much. 2025. Yeah, next time you're on James C. Burns' not podcast, live stream, see if he remembers the Wizard Con he did with me. We were in the same booth together, at a table right next to each other. Thank you, Video Game Hustle. Dust, what are my inspirations for writing? I know, as far as music goes, I mean, everything I've ever listened to, it's hard to really pinpoint. I don't look at one band that I used to like and just say they're my inspiration, but I should make a list of bands that have influenced me, huh? That I can post somewhere so I can just say, here's the link. But, anything. I can hear anything, any score. I've told people, just reading literature or seeing art or movies or whatever it might be. Something that gives me a tone. Oh. Gotta even this up. Pardon me for a moment. There we go. Carla, hey. 115. Oh, are you into zombies? Kitten. What is a Wizard Con? Yeah. When all the cons were starting to get popular, they had a Wizard Con. I don't even know what it was for. A dude named Kona did a composer panel of which I was a part. Or you could probably look it up on YouTube right now. Like Sean Murray, Kevin Sherwood, obviously me, Greg Edmondson, Gary Scheinman, and Enon Zur were all on the same panel. James C. Burns wasn't on there. We were down on the floor, like, signing autographs. Pikachu, thank you. But wait till no one's alive. You're very much into zombies. Oh, cool. You've come to the right place. How do we come up with Abracadabra? It was actually my boss, Brian, saying, take Damned and make a song out of it. Those were his exact words. And then my exact words were, I don't think I could make that into a song. And then he said, do it anyway. Justin. Faithful mod, through and through. I'll run on Ken, the Cosmic. Xavier, you made a COD song. That's cool. Or a zombie song. It's pretty cold and windy here in Victorville, as it gets around this time of year. How did I get those background sounds for Abracadabra? I use a lot of different synths. I think most of those are probably Spectrasonics Omnisphere. Probably default. I mean, I change stuff a lot of times if it doesn't fit, but I'm not afraid of default patches. Carla, I need to buy myself a piano so I can learn to do Damned. Yeah. Oh, you might want to just use a keyboard, like a MIDI keyboard for like $50, because a piano is, going to be expensive and big. And if you ever move, it's going to be a giant pain. Am I a fan of Metallica? I am. Would you play guitar? Yeah, I guess if there was something in it for me. 34 degrees now. Ouch. Sassy, what's up? Could someone use your music in a movie or video game? So, with licensed music, you have to go through, like ASCAP or, there's a bunch of music firms, but what you're looking for is Activision to say that yes, you can license it, and I don't think they ever do. It doesn't matter how big. I think they have this rule where it's only used in Activision games, so, you know, I can't grant that type of permission. Now, if you did it, it's just a small thing. I doubt anything would come of it, but right on, Dust. It's cold and windy in Vegas. Am I a fan of System of a Down? There's all these bands throughout my life where I only ever hear them when they're playing in someone else's car when we're going to a bar or a party or something. And I think, man, this is a good sounding mix and this band sounds heavy and the songs are good. But for some reason, I never buy it. So I think they're good. Their songs all sounded really good, but I never bought their music and listened to it on my own. But whenever it was on, I liked it. Did I sing A Line in Dead again? No. My voice has never appeared in any of my songs, any of my COD songs. It appears in one of my Cube songs on my channel from my college days on a song called Painless Misery. I speak the bridge. And the bridge was the singer's dream that he wrote down when he woke up. What's your go-to music to listen to? Right now, I've been listening to Lacuna Coil's entire discography just constantly. Macnudo cigars, I haven't, no. I'm fairly new to cigars. I've been smoking a pipe for a while, and I've got, right now, I have the title of my stream has a cigar. It's a Arturo Fuente Rare Pink. Activision has apparently let modders for Fallout use guns. Have they actually let? I don't know. There are just so many people that work on COD. They're all over the planet, and hundreds of people I've probably never even met. A buddy telling me that you sing in a Citizen Soldier song? No, that's not true. What do I think of Polyphia and the modern state of guitar playing? Well, I don't know. In any age, the guitar players or musicians of whatever instrument of the previous age say, oh, modern guitar players are just doing this, and they complain. And in their day, the previous age were complaining about their guitar playing. So I think what people are doing now is, they find something that people like and love, and they just do theme and variation, and it just creates this constant source of trial and error that yields this cream of the crop stuff, and it's just cool to see it happening. Does that answer your question? Is that a good answer? Or did I dodge the question? Are bands ever allowed to do covers? So there's something that you can do, maybe a little known fact, esoteric knowledge, but if you get on like ASCAP or, there's so many music licensing sites and you do what's called a compulsory mechanical license, nobody can say no to you recording a cover. You just need to make sure that you give, writing credit to. And, but the company usually takes care of that. That's how Maluka does all her covers. Right on, skeptics. Search for the Samantha Dials. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep answering that question, skeptic, throughout the stream as I think about it more, because I want to make sure it's it's a well thought out answer because it's a commentary on my perception of what they do, because what we're probably talking about is you're talking about how 8-string guitars have, basically dominated the metal scene. And I've said this before, the reason that is because of Frederick from Meshuggah. And I stand behind that, and it's not a criticism or a, insult, it's just he started doing something, and to me that was like a Pandora's box for modern metal. Now, I'm going to paraphrase Ola Englund when he says, anytime I hear someone using an 8-string guitar, I think it sounds like Meshuggah. And there's some truth to that. And I think it's true too, but that doesn't mean that, they shouldn't have written that song, because, you can take that logic to its conclusion and say, oh, just by using a guitar, it sounds like metal, or, any opera. As soon as they start singing that way, it's like, oh, that just sounds like, Puccini. I don't think it takes away from the music, and nor should it. There's a new thing, people like it, use it, and use it to create things. Because limitation is what spawns creativity, and you can't get frozen in a genre for too long, or you stagnate and then nothing is enjoyable. I don't do a lot of that writing because I just don't, my brain doesn't work that way. Not 115, it's a Music Box song. It might be a Tui thing. I can't remember. If you want, you can post it in my Discord channel in the media and ask, and I can get to it later and see if I can find out. Slipknot let Jay go without even stating why. Well, if bands do anything, it's break up. Bands are worse than marriages. Do I make music outside of the game? Not anymore. I have some music that I did before I worked in games that's on my channel, but I work for Treyarch, which means if I write any music specific to a game, it would have to be for them. I can write stuff outside of it, it's just I don't have any time. And Justin posted the link, thank you very much. You can't pin that. I know. Justin, I clicked on your name to see if I can make you Uber mod, but the option isn't available, and I need to do this. Remind me tomorrow. We just need to take care of this. Mr. Innocence, what's up? Did I also make GZ, the Hackerman 935? Did you also make the rumored dog round theme that never got released? Yes. Yeah, that was I was just toying around back in WoW, and I wrote that thing, the dun 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 dun, that one. Yeah, I should turn that into a song. I think I'm gonna try at some point. YouTube doesn't want. Oh, does it? Am I the one who can pin things? God, that's stupid. No. There we go. Pinned. Skeptics, what I appreciate is how modern guitarists are blurring the lines of genre even more before the course. Yeah, okay. That's another interesting talking point there. See, do you find when you're pressured, have a deadline, you write better? Yeah. Okay, so we have a saying, like James McCauley and I, James, he's co-written some of the songs with me, like Where Are We Going, Dead Flowers, and a few others. We say deadlines write these songs, because one of my first struggles as a musician, before I even went to college, is I was so frustrated I couldn't write a song. I would write a riff and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I couldn't ever do it. And there was this stupid little, almost poppy musical piece I wrote with Corey Redgrift, who's done some of the keyboards in my songs. We came up with in college. We were supposed to be studying for a midterm, and we just didn't. We just stayed up all night playing Dreamcast, Soul Calibur, and hitting the bong. And we wrote this thing, and it was then that I actually cracked the code of writing songs. Like, I was able to do it forever after. That's when we formed Cube, and I just started writing, and I've been able to write ever since. My dog's having a bad night. And I listened to Christopher Lee's metal albums. Yeah, I think I listened to that in traffic one time, like on when we were coming home from work. I know you stated that Damned was inspired by 80s horror music, but were you going for a different vibe with echoes of the Damned? Uh, I mean, yeah, well, how real do I go here? So, yes, I wanted to write a completely new piece, but as it was Echoes of the Damned, it had to harken back to the original. So it needed to be something that painted a texture that led back into some kind of a wandering feeling of discovery that eventually descends back into where you are, which was Damned. Are you and Elena doing another collab? Who knows? Is my brother into music at all? Not at all. I mean, he probably listens to it, but he's not a musician or anything. Doesn't want to be. Let's see. What bass tuning do you use in Pareidolia and Coming Home? I don't remember. I do have all the tabs done. I'll release that. That'll have all that in there. Diego, right on, man. Lullaby, the original. Special place in my heart for that one. Favorite zombie song is, too hard to favorite my own stuff. It's hard to say I like it. It's almost, I don't know. I know it seems like a cop-out answer, but I don't like my own songs. They're like they're almost like a walk through fire, like an experience that you kind of have to get through and then look back on, and I don't know. Do I still see spiders? Yes. Yeah, there's no matter where I go, there's always widows of some kind. Where are the tabs? There's some on my Ultimate Guitar. There's a Linktree link in all the descriptions of my YouTube videos that should have that link. But there's only 4 on there right now. However, I've hired Sheet Happens and had them tab out all the missing ones because I just don't have time. They're done. I'm just going through them and trying to fix a few mistakes and finish them up, and I'm just going to release a tab book. I think I've mentioned in a couple live streams, I might, maybe to raise money for some music projects, I might do some signed versions if you guys are interested. And digital, of course. It's different if you create it. It comes out at different places in your life. Yeah. Song is at you in the current state of time. I use Metallica for that explanation, skeptics. Would people really like it if they wrote Master of Puppets again? I mean, I'm sure there's a maybe, but that's the problem is sometimes bands will do that. And it'll be like, oh, this sounds just like their old album, but no one really gets into it that much because it was that sound at that time. Thanks, Necro. Spiders are sending me a message too. Yeah. Metalhead, you've been meaning to figure out some of the songs. My ear isn't great, and the tabs I found are wrong. Yeah. Well, I do lots of layering stuff, and a lot of times it's difficult just to hear what's going on in there. Do I like beef jerky? Yeah, I do. You wish your school let you use electric guitars. I don't know, I've heard some schools will have, electric guitars as something that you can learn, but my school definitely didn't. How did I come up with the riff of 115? I got the drum program BFD2 back when that released. And I was playing around with it to get used to how it worked. And I'm like, let me make a standard metal beat. And I just wrote the drum. I wrote the drum riff, and then as I was listening to it, I'm like, oh, let me try playing something, and it just happened. I didn't write the lyrics to the perks. Various people did over the years. Craig did a lot of them. Skeptics, yeah, have fun at work. And no problem. Appreciate it. Do I still own the 10 string? Yeah, I still got it. It's out of tune right now. I hardly ever play it. Not because it's not good, but just because I don't have enough time to figure it out or to use it for something meaningful at the moment. Hopefully, when I free up some more time, I'll actually start using it. I'd be best to ask about beef jerky. Yeah, it's good, but there's a lot of different kinds. Joseph, what inspired me to write Abracadabra? I mean, just starting, the idea of what the map was doing at the time and trying to think of what Damned, or an avenue that Damned portrayed that I could go down. What sound design for zombies was difficult compared to the rest of the game? Well, I mean, just blanket statement, generality is that zombies is supernatural, sci-fi, steampunk supernatural, whereas, Call of Duty is hyper-realism, so it's completely different, so all of it. I mean, difficult, it's just different. Mr. Innocence, you actually helped contribute to adding I Am the Well lyrics to Spotify and syncing lyrics. Oh, nice. Do you have a guitar that is a never-to-be-played guitar? Nah, I'm not I don't know. I don't have a lot of sacred things. Not because, for no particular reason. I mean, I don't want somebody to break it or knock it out of tune while I'm recording, but, they are what they are. And he used drop D for most of the songs. Well, it would have been drop A on the 8th string. And the reason was I just wanted to, I liked the range I got for where I could sit the vocalists and how low I could tune the bass so I could hit the lowest notes in the bridge. Favorite Maluka song? Let's just say In the Darkness. Do you know why? Because I play the solo on it. It's a selfish reason. It's windy. Purgatory would ever make a song with Elena Clark and Maluka all singing together, kind of like Archangel. I'd do that again, but it's just it's a challenge, coordinating that. So I'd have to get inspired to do that again, and scheduling. What took so long to get the rest of the zombie songs on iTunes and Spotify? We just lost track of time, and all the tracks got, up on the server in various places, and communication, and a whole bunch of just really boring reasons. And I finally just cracked down and compiled it all and did all the lame work that no one wanted to do and got them all around and got all the data together. What's my opinion on always running? I like what I was able to discover about music by writing it, because it's an interchange and a switch between major and minor constantly, and I learned a lot from it. Diego, pretty cool. I've been able to obsessed with a gift recently from Black Ops 3, and this is the only real interaction to have with the, yeah, man. I try to do more, live streams like this to answer questions when I can. Oh, what is my favorite COD song that has Maluka? Dead Flowers. It's a weirdo song. There's those songs that, normies like, and then there's the songs that musicians might like if they don't hate them. And I think that's one of those ones. It's just weird. I don't know how we wrote it, and she sounds great in it. I have actually an alternate ending to that song that I still have recorded that I want to, maybe I'll do an acoustic version and use that or something. Was it difficult writing the Chaos songs given the new lore and switch from more sci-fi to fantasy? Uh, no, I mean, they're all difficult. I have my way of doing it that I find it hard to explain, and it wasn't more difficult, I don't think. Carla, Dead Flowers is Fire, right on. Thank you. A lot of people probably don't like that song. What would you say is the most technical of the zombie songs, if there is one? Probably Light from the Shore, because of all the soloing and changes in key. There is no key. When writing the songs, do they tell you the Easter eggs, whole story? Well, I mean, I'm working on the game. I have been since 2006 or 5 or something. So I'm there when it's being made, and then I always talk with the story team, and then we do back and forth as the story evolves. So I know what's happening the whole time. Bubby Wildfire. I still work at Treyarch and Dude. There is no music division. There's just sound design, and we just make music when we can. Blue Jay, thank you for Drowning. It's one of my favorites. Oh, right on, man. I may have said this before, but Drowning, Shockwave, and Mystery I wrote all at the same time because I had to ship 3 songs. So it was back and forth. It's the only time I've ever done that. Would you ever do tabs do a tabs video? I've wanted to do that. I need to find out what people use for the visual interface when they do tab videos. Is there a special program, or are they just using, Guitar Pro? I would like to do that. Did I use a Warwick bass? Yes, I have a Warwick thumb bass that I bought off of eBay, and that's what I use. It's a 5-string active. Am I catching a cold? I'm like in my 4th cold of the fall right now, and I think I'm getting over it, hopefully not getting another one. Purgatory, no music division, makes me imagine that when they need you, they open a closet and you're sitting there with a guitar. I mean, that's how it was. My office was pretty much a closet, and we just wrote music when we wanted to. You like the riffs and Drowning? Right on. Why don't I go inside? Well, I don't want to smoke my cigar inside. It's not like I'm not going to smoke a cigar. I mean, come on, that's crazy. Thanks, Daddy J. I have an insect. I'm sure I've got insects all over me. Metalhead, the palm-muted gallop riff in Coming Home is so brutal, criminally underrated metal riff. It's a bitch to play through, though. Yeah, yeah, that was like a practice thing. I mean, obviously, I was using Bleed as an example. I'm like, let me try to do something kind of like that, but throw it on its head and put another round on it to test out, again, another software thing when I got my first Mac Pro. And it was just kind of like a storage practice riff I was going to have, but then they asked me to do something at the very last second, so it was the only start of a song I had, so that's what I made it. The sound design has changed over the years. Yeah, I mean, we all grew up. We've been a team for, I mean, I think every sound designer at Treyarch, or at least most of them, have been there 15 years plus. So you guys pretty much heard us grow up as far as our sound design goes. Boat Deck. Yeah, I remember writing those. That was a fun time. Black Ops was great. Zachary, I have a 5-string bass with a strong reception. It was picking up a radio station. Yeah, yeah. You know, noise, extraneous noise, is the bane of all home recording. So good shielding and, you know, getting balanced cables, well, when you can use them, is imperative. And getting the shortest cables possible. The Gift Songs drum track is what got me to start self-teaching myself drums years ago, and I still can't play it properly. Then one day you said that it was made with a program. Well, it can be played. Trust me, all my songs can absolutely be played. I'm sure drummers will listen to some of my songs and go, you know, obviously a guitar player wrote this, but they can all be played. Simply Dark, you're making me hungry. Favorite COD song with Clark? I think Stormbound. Was I ever asked to come up with a design of a weapon? Like the total design itself? No. I mean, you know, we always have input on things, but, you know, not, you know, the weapon designers do that. Was Archangel the only track with a real drummer? Yeah. That was the only one that we used the live drummers playthrough so far. The multiplayer riffs posted on your channel. Yeah. Whoa, Oasis. I missed you too. What's my favorite type of steak? You know, that changes. I mean, ribeyes are fantastic, but flank steak, I think, is my new favorite. And rare, very rare. I even eat flank steak raw a lot of times. What I think about Avenged's guitarist, he's amazing, great. A true musician. Thanks, Hassan. It's a cigar, it's not a blunt, but yes, thank you. Next playthrough video, yeah, I know I need to do that. You ate some bacon today. Good for you. Get your daily bacon in. Did I work with A7X for Not Ready to Die? No. They came in and they basically said, hey, you know, we like the mode, we want to write something for it. And they said, you know, is it cool if we do something? And they mentioned it like being kind of like melodic minor, and we were like, do whatever you want to do, and they did. Am I fond of sushi? Yeah, I eat a lot of sushi. Thanks, Daddy J. Bacon, cheese, and coffee, yeah. Which instruments are done programmed and which aren't? Well, the drums, like I said, except for Archangel, are programmed by me. The bass is mostly me live, although the first two songs, Lullaby and the one, I had Corey play them on a keyboard because I didn't have a bass. And I went out to either Musician's Friend or Guitar Center and bought, like, you know, a Squire Fender bass for the next couple songs. And I've used Easy Bass from TuneTrack on like 1 or 2 songs just to try it out. I didn't really like it because there's certain things I like to do that I can't do with that. Wine and coffee together is good. Are there any bands or acts you would want to feature in a zombie song? Well, I don't really go picking, you know, like I write the songs that go in there, so that's all I concentrate on. Usually when they ink a deal with another band, it's, you know, happening, you know, at the executive level. Any tips for songwriting? Just try to make it make sense to you. There needs to be musical logic. You have to get a section that you write, just a small riff, like this little ember, and then sit with it for a few days, go away from it and come back, and then try to play it. The first time you play it that day, get to where the riff's going to end, and there should be an obvious direction it goes. And if you don't get it, put your guitar down or whatever, go away until you have a fresh mind again, and keep doing that until it's obvious. It's almost as if it's already written. What drew you towards Halo guitars? I looked up 8-string guitars on MySpace, and that company came up, and I just contacted them and said, hey, how much for an 8-string? Do the developers tell you how to activate the Easter eggs? Oh yeah, we implement them. Colin Ayers is one of the sound designers who does most of the zombie sounds. We've all been scripting those in over the years, but he does it mostly, the last 10 years probably. When I wrote tracks for the Bow 1, were they specifically made for the missions, chosen out of the demos? No, they were specifically written for the missions. Which do you like better, acoustic drums or electronic drums? If I had enough time, I would have acoustics probably blended with triggers, which is what almost all metal bands do anyway, but I don't really need to record acoustic drums to do what I do, so I don't. That doesn't mean I won't, because you can get really custom, better sounds by doing that. But the effort level has to go up to do that in time and cost. You're asking Black Ops Cold War had no Kevin songs from Hour and whatever. It just, at that point, it was pandemic time, and the workload and a bunch of other factors came to the point where I was so burned out that, I just couldn't get into the mindset and didn't have the time to do it properly. So I just basically kind of took a sabbatical from writing songs for a bit. What was it like working with Jason? He's a hyper creative, so it was cool. I feel like I think in a similar way that he does, and we both pull fantastical ideas out of the air and then try to make them into something cohesive. But he did a lot of cool stuff. What makes you think of the lyrics, "Your skin tastes like chocolate"? I know that's one of the funny ones that people laugh at, but the iron smell of blood in the air, skin tastes like chocolate. And later on I talk about, we all fall down. It sounds like a lab report. When they talk about ferritin, which is the blood iron, I'm referencing specific chemistry in the body. And I won't say more than that for the story, but, chocolate has certain minerals, so it has a reason. If I sneeze, how many bless yous would I get in the chat? 6. What's up, Emerald Shaft? Thank you very much. Water is great. It is poison, though. Everyone who has drank water has died. Be careful. Ask anyone with rabies, they'll tell you the same thing. Migs, it's going good. How are you? How's your day? It makes me happy to know you don't get annoyed by all the zombie songs questions. Well, I would be an idiot if I did, because that's the purpose of this. I like talking about it. It's a cool experience, and that's what my channel's for. Why does Elena say in pareidolia, they're inside me and I'm inside out? It's a character reflection, I think, is about all I can say. If I made a band name, what would it be? That's too hard. I don't know. I think every band, when they name themselves, is usually they just give up. And that's what it would end up being with me. You're playing some Bow 2 and enjoying one of the last Thanksgiving breaks. Oh. Did I write the song Remember Forever? No. That was actually a song started by Tui and then expounded by Jack Wall. Lucky BR, how is the process for writing lyrics? You know, it's taking what I know about the story and I basically make an outline of it so I can think about it for about a week. And then I just start kind of, I start reading some of my favorite books, poetry, new stuff I've never heard of, just trying to get myself into random, I guess, headspaces. And then and occasionally I'll walk around with my iPhone if I start thinking of cool lines that fit, and I'll record myself and keep them in an album and then make them phonetically cool and then mix them with music and then start make them make sense and then just, go back to music, go back to lyrics until you chisel them into something. Alone is one of the best opening to a song, right on. I was trying to make it kind of retro 80s without, being completely 80s. Because that's, we were in Cold War. Which is, 70s and 80s and 60s and 50s. But 80s was the goal there. Have I ever held a shotgun or pistol à birth? Yes, I own them. Many times. And, for the guns for each game, for Treyarch, I go out in location and record them, so a lot. You can see me shooting various guns that I thought were interesting on my Instagram. Woe says, not gonna lie, I didn't like I Am the Well when I first heard it, but once I realized the meaning of the lyrics and how it portrayed the zombie story and where it came from, I fell in love. Yeah, it's my songs probably span genres and intensities where if you like one, you might hate another. Did you volunteer to write songs for the Black Ops 1 campaign, or were you asked to? Both. I tried to write any time I thought something might work. And then, things like Undone, like we wanted something Pink Floyd-y, so I just went home and I did that in like a couple hours, just something. It was meant to be like a prototype, but it ended up being a thing we released. How do you come up with songs like Raining Teddy Bears and or Slasher? Just picking out synths and then seeing what I can come up with. That's the short answer. Wooden Sus, love your work, man. Thank you very much. Yuri, if such a thing exists, anything is possible. Would I ever play paintball and or airsoft? Yeah. I've done paintball. I've never done airsoft. Joseph Stylen, gas walk is on par with WTF. Oh, you mean mask walk? Right on. Carla, always running makes me cry sometimes, Lamau. Yeah, that's, without sounding too new agey here, I try to put, emotions that I've experienced in my life, and I try to capture them, distill them, and then recreate them, and put them out there, so you should feel something. Ear is no there one. This is the first time you've actually got to one of your streams. Right on, thank you. Why do I respond to story questions so vaguely? Because I'm only ever going to talk about, I guess, the relatable aspects and metaphors I use and how they could apply, but I don't ever want to give away specifically what they mean, because I think it cheapens the music and the story when bands try to say, oh, this means exactly this. Because I think once you release it, if enough people take it a certain way, it's changed and it lives on its own. So whether or not I say it means this and someone else takes it a different way, maybe it doesn't mean what I intended. Did you hurt a lot when you played paintball? I had a bunch of, a lot of bruises. What would you call it tone you hear in the background of Always Running? I hear it in the Halo Infinite 2 at times, but I don't know what the tone is. I'm not sure what you mean. It's possible maybe they used are you talking about a specific instrument, or is it just maybe a chord change? Oh, Kevin, yes. Yes, Mr. the nickname. Least favorite I've made? I always say all of them. Sometimes the drums sound like a burst fire gun. That's metal. A certain sound? Not sure. Maybe we used a same synth at some point or something. I don't know. Transit may be controversial, but Carry On is great. Same with the We All Fall Down. I hope you hear more. Clark, he's got amazing vocals. Yeah, those first two songs, there was a lot of experimentation, trying to get the feel for how, experimentation on his part for how he would sing over stuff, and we had fun with it. Love Carry On, right on. I never responded to a request for tabs. Oh, well, I was waiting for right now. I knew you did that, and right now I'm saying there's a tab book almost done. Hope I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Why does sometimes the guitar sound like a drum? I don't know. I don't know. You remember those T-Lao faction streams? Oh man, I love T-Lao factions. Akadori, what's up? By the way, Justin, do people in my Discord know that I'm streaming? They always complain that I never tell them, and I always forget to tell them. That's why they complain. Lucky, I would love to see you and Mick Gordon collaborate. Yeah, I know, people talk about collaborations, but, I don't know how it would work, because we're both schedule-wise, and if, we had to, very different styles. Could be cool. I can ping everyone, but they won't like it. Good, do it. I love it when they don't like it. What songs you've done that you think would fit very well with Guitar Hero? Probably A Light from the Shore. I Am the Well, Stormbound. You have the soul and I Am the Well. Oh, right on. That's about the upper echelon of my ability, I think. I probably couldn't even play that right now. What's the inspiration for the Shangri-La Easter egg song? The answer to that is probably in the thumbnail. Is that wind and rain? That's just the wind. No rain at the moment. If you could give your past self one piece of knowledge you have now, what would it be? It'd probably be financial. Boring. I'd probably say that debt is money and cash flow is everything. Daniel, right on, man. Nakadori, like you come here and chill with us every now and again. It's really fun. I usually just lurk, but I do really enjoy these. Right on. I'm trying to do these semi-regularly. I'm hesitant to make a schedule because I know I won't be able to keep it, but I try to do it as much as I can. Why is the bass guitar more noticeable on any other songs? We change the mix all the time. Each song is like its own album. Just seemed like a good idea at the time, I think. Green, welcome. Joseph, that's Discord style talk. Purgatory, why were there no lyrics for A Faraway Shore, Elena or Clark available? No, that was intended to be an instrumental. You know, and albums usually have like an instrumental song in certain genres, and since I only do one song at a time, I know it seems weird because when you get one, it's just like the only thing you have for a while, but if you look at it as a compilation, an instrumental makes sense. And we wanted to try and paint a picture with it. Right on, Migs. Do you play video games? If so, any favorites? I haven't been playing anything for like the last 2 years. I gotta start playing it. I'm probably gonna start playing Last of Us Factions again, probably some Diablo. My favorites of all time, you know, before I had a real career was I was in the top 50th of the East Coast server in Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. I played a lot of Diablo 2. You know, and I liked, you know, way back when I loved RPGs, you know, the original Final Fantasies and Dragon Warriors. Making a Discord to-do list. Yeah, we got to get together sometime, Justin, and figure out. I need to do a bunch of house cleaning and fix stuff and do things so that I can do more things. Because when you stream in some games and inviting me, yeah, once I turn it on my PS4 and start a game, by the time I have time to do it, I'm usually so tired I just go to bed now. I'm lame. I wish you'd re-record the older songs because you're using your low string and your guitar for the bass. No, I'm not. There's a bass in all the songs. We just started probably mixing better or different. Minecraft, I'm not a fan. Do you ever hate the creative process of a project? I mean, yeah. I think everyone loves and hates it at the same time. It's like any large project, you know. Human beings aren't naturally good at doing things over a long period of time. That's why, you know, as my buddy Kyle says, if cool shit were easy to do, everyone would be doing it. I love Diablo 2. So do I. Trust me, I played so much Diablo 2. A lot of inspiration, a lot of my musicality that I've learned over the years comes from the music from the Overworld written by Matt Ullman, who I'm friends with now, which was really cool, and the cinematics. And I think the Diablo 2 cinematics, I still watch them occasionally. I find them uploaded and just watch from start to end, are the best cinematics in the game I've ever seen. Still, I think they hold up. Are you participating in No Shave November? Or are you purposely, or do you usually grow out your beard? I I try not to grow out my beard, but it just does it on its own. Anyone ever recognize you in public? Rarely, unless I'm going to an event where, I say I'm going to be at, or it would make sense that I'm at. Of course, I'm never really out in public that much. Do you ever play D&D at all? Yeah, I used to play a lot of Cthulhu and D&D with my buddy Chris. I haven't in a long time, though. Writer's block, yeah, that's the measuring stick. Do I still have my old Ibanez yellow guitar? No, I don't. Sold it at Guitar Center to pay for rent probably a long time ago. You asked me about doing the songs with acoustics instead of normals. Do you still have any thoughts? I want to do it. I'm going to do that at some point. Or I'm thinking about it. I don't want to commit to it because then the universe will somehow get in my way. What's the oldest fan I've ever met? I mean, like 50s and 60s, probably. Baldur's Gate 3 is cool. Yeah, I heard that. I should play some RPGs or something. I should play some games, being that I'm in games. The drums were off of a CD, Green, that is true. That would be funny if we see someone who has that yellow guitar. What's your favorite guitar to play? Well, I have my Octavia 8-string and my new custom built for me musician version for my 7-string that I have. So those two, but I have my 2 hammers as 6 strings. I like those. Most difficult song you wrote? Well, I mean, technically it's A Light from the Shore, but I Am the Well is really fast and technical, so that's kind of difficult for me. Stream some games, yeah. I'm not set up to stream games at all anymore. But, oh my God, my hand's so cold. I will, someday. I'll just say soon, like I always used to. What is the longest time given for a song? Well, in a way, it was 115 because I started the Death song on Darice, but then it didn't come out until Kino. So I guess technically that's the longest time. But then you could say, I started Dead Flowers with that seed for Dead Flowers, which I have posted on my channel in like 2009 and didn't write it until whenever I wrote it. Which is better, bacon or steak? Yeah, that's apples and oranges. And invite you, of course. Why didn't Clark get his own verse like the other two in Archangel? It just didn't work out that way, I guess. Soon, T. Trademark, yeah. I should trademark soon. Maybe need an Urban Dictionary version of soon. Kevin Sherwood soon. Like, is it soon or Kevin Sherwood soon? It's my favorite Treyarch non-Treyarch Call of Duty. Modern Warfare. Hat reminds me of ZZ Top. I was just thinking about them the other day. Clark and I, sorry if you see me wipe my nose on camera here, but Clark and I always talk about ZZ Top. Like, I brought it up to him. I'm like, what are they? How does a band, like, what is that band? You're used to hearing them, but like, how do you, like a 3-piece with like, kind of like grinding guitars and like synths. It's the weirdest thing. Am I into any sports? I used to love hockey a lot. Used to play a lot of like garage and street hockey. You know, I played football and baseball and basketball in high school, but I don't watch anything anymore. I like MMA. I do like fighting. Is a little bit lower pitch voice in the background while Lena sings an Archangel. Is that Clark or Maluka? Probably. I mean, Clark's in there doing like an undertone of his, evil character voice. But there's probably also lower octaves of the girls too. Wine, my fave. You drinking wine these days? Curious of what types of music you listen to, favorite bands, songs. I mean, it's one of those questions. There's so many. Like I said lately, I've been listening to Lacuna Coil nonstop. And that was just because Christina invited me to their show out here, and I used to listen to them all the time, and then I hadn't for a long time, so I just started doing it again. But In Flames, Meshuggah, started listening to some old Death. I mean Death, not old Death, but Death, and Morbid Angel. Started listening to Morbid Angel a lot again lately too. I'm stuck in like a time warp from decades ago. Kazoo tracks, that's a good idea. Electric kazoo. Do I ever listen to any Vocaloid songs? I do not. You know of Sun, whatever, or any drone music? I don't know what that is. Thundercat? I've heard someone mention that in Flying Lotus, yeah. See, I don't know anything new. Like after like 2000, I stopped listening to everything. I love Spellbound, yes. I told Christine, I'm like, Spellbound, I used to reference that when I would do songs with Elena back in the beginning. They're really cool. It was a concert with them and Fear Factory, Lions at the Gate, and then a local opener that I can't remember. Thundercat does a song with Kenny Rogers and Michael McDonald. Really? It's this craziness. You kids in your rock and roll. Mr. Innocence, yeah, I think that's right. I'd have to check my own channel to make sure. You'll be waiting for a kazoo song? Okay. Kevin, do I sing? Or Kevin, do you sing? I mean, yeah, I can. I think I've mentioned this before. There's 3 types of singers. Those who are hopelessly just terrible, those who with practice can hit the right pitches but don't sound interesting, and then those who are great. And I'm the middle one. Maybe kazoo vocals. All the vocals are sung through a kazoo. How was the song Undone put together from Pocket Music? It was for that mission in Black Ops 1 where we wanted a Pink Floyd style thing coming out of a tent. And I just went home and had a mock-up, just in an hour, just kind of threw it together. And we used it. I didn't think anything of it, and then we ended up putting it out. Yeah, maybe I'll sing at some point. I'll do a song with myself that's, we'll see how it goes. Unless it's terrible, and then I won't release it. Or maybe I'll make an artist name for me as a singer, and I'll say it's someone else. Maybe I've already done that. The live zombie choral, how did it go? There's no recordings. It went great. Yeah, I don't even have the recordings to that. I don't know if we'll ever get those. Kevin Shamrocks can be your alt name. There's a certain fighter who might take issue with that, but yeah. Oh yeah, it was Ken. And what was his brother's name? Pete, Ken Shamrock, and Frank Shamrock. Okay, yeah, I guess I could use Kevin Shamrock. Which of the two zombie drums felt more crazy, I'm the Well or 115? I mean, I think I'm the Well is crazier. 115 is just more. 115 is one of those, you know, the planets align things. Dodonkus. I have a friend who hasn't gotten online in a while to play zombies with me because he has too much work. Could you tell him to stop working and get online so I can send it to him? His name is Ethan. How do you want me to tell him? By saying it right now? Because I just read your thing and I think I did. How would you even know? I don't know. Who has those recordings? I don't. I actually gotta find that out. I don't know. Thank you. I was wondering about the sounds used within Unadone. Oh, you should talk about the synths or the. I have a synth that plays like a keyboard line that I wrote. I'd have to go back to the session and look. Yeah, it's kind of like a sitar blended with something else. Kevin Sherwood backwards. Oh yeah, that's the Nevik Dureres. Yeah. I'll go under the name Chris Gaines. When you were in high school, I sang 115 for a talent show. Where's the video of that? I ask you. Karen Lee, I saw you were live. Just want to say thank you for the song. Where are we going? Right on. I'm glad you like that. Migs. The last minute or so of 115 feels a little bit emotional. That's the idea. It's the culmination of the end. They have to exist somewhere. They do. How do you feel about making music? Is it just work or something you love doing? It can't be just work. Even if I ever say that it is, it can't be. You like the Dead Ops arcade stuff I did? Right on. That was fun to do. Also, it was like between 12 and 3 a.m. I was not sleeping during that time. Did fans ever give you an idea for a song that you actually used? Maybe not directly. I don't remember. No recording your performance. It was probably terrible. Nah, probably not terrible. Ethan, stop being a lame ass and get on Bow 3. It's been months. Why did you drop an F-bomb in Archangel? That's actually, okay, that's from Best in the World. That's an interesting question. I actually don't like forced profanity generally. But I felt phonetically, like somehow it worked. It has this impact, I felt, that I used it. The thumbnail for I'm the Well makes you look a little butt silly. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Because I'm in a well. I think Mr. Pentek made that. I hope someday in the future get new music from you. Me too. Alex Sinato, I probably didn't say that right. Thanks for being the introduction to hard rock metal. It changed my musical life. Right on, thank you. Purgatory, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're here to talk. Nakadori, I feel like your songs broke me into heavier stuff, going from Beauty of Annihilation to 115, then to One Archangel. Just open up the gates to good heavy music. I'm glad to hear that. Nothing worse than forced profanity. I have something to say about that too. I actually get irritated. This is a weird thing to say, but like when there's like nudity in shows too, or too much like sexual stuff. Like I feel like there's an artistic way to do it, and when there's just so much of it, it's just like, I don't know. It's like almost like they're proving that they can get away with it, and it annoys me. Not, I don't think it shouldn't not be allowed, but I feel like there's a light touch to be had with things like that. And I think it's important to have things that are sacred and to, you know, use them in a way that makes sense. You hated True Blood? Yeah, I mean, it's awkward too. It's just, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm not being, you know, like a Puritan or anything. I'm just, I don't know. There's a better way to say that. There's a longer way to say that, but that's my short take. What's the best at a barbecue? Hot dogs or burgers? Oh man, I actually like bratwurst, but I love burgers too. Hot dogs are okay. I like mustard on them. Razor Fist would probably scorn me for that. Call that every 14. Yeah, that's true. If I had that same opinion a long time ago, I might say something different. Burgers are great. I mean, burgers are there better be burgers at a barbecue. All right, Justin, have a good night. Thanks, man. Hot dog burger, yeah. Yeah, you know, Green, the one guy in True Blood was, I mean, I never watched True Blood, you know, because I don't watch that, but it's just, I don't know. It's just like they're trying to uphold some trend, and it takes away from the story. Like, I get it. The character probably is naked at some point, but what is this pushing the story forward for? I feel like it's insulting to me, and it's space filler. Like, oh, this must be a big deal show because obviously there's sexual content and nudity. Like, occasionally I get it, but too much is annoying. Elaine's Sykes, they are on Spotify. Go check. Use the not tiny URL. What is it called? Linktree I have in the description of all my YouTube videos, and go to my artist page on like Spotify or any of the streaming services, and you should see them all. It doesn't have some artistic representation of the plot through more vulgar terms. Seems like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I agree. Alex Nato. Please try to find those choral recordings. I will. I'll try to ask around. I don't know where they are or who even has them. Yeah, Lane, check back with us. Let us know what you find, what your research uncovers. Let Kevin cook us up a show. I'd love to write a show. Might be terrible, but you know, I might be able to do it. The Halo show. Hello, Pachenka. Rookie, yes, that's right. Alone is on Spotify. There might be some other ones on there, like all the other ones, and some other stuff. Check and ye shall receive. Primarily Witcher YouTuber said how he didn't like that the Witcher TV series had a bunch of swearing in it and people got really angry at him. Yeah, like, especially period stuff, when they swear in a modern way, is extremely irritating. Low effort, I say. All sorts of problems with the Witcher show. Cavill was cool, but then they just, like, at first, The Witcher, man, you could draw a graph of how good it was starting at, episode 1, and it was just linear, then logarithmic downhill, in my humble opinion. One day I should do a concert with everyone. Yeah, I'd like to. You're doing what with Spotify? Purple? Sounds like a lofty goal and worthy of no sleep, I guess. Elaine, I appreciate that. Yeah, The Witcher won't be the same anymore without Henry Cavill. Yeah, well, I mean, it was just getting terrible even when he was there, but it was disappointing. Like, it was a cool, everything about it had a cool setup, and it could have been very good, but then, their coin for The Witcher was also the Lullaby for a Dead Man chord progression. Green, seeing the songs live would be cool. That would be cool. Maybe someday. Oh, I'm out of wine? No, that wasn't wine. That was whiskey. Scotch. Macallan. Smooth. I forget what it was called. It's a good one. Green, you're one of my favorite artists. Thank you very much. Speak Spanish? Not really, no. Not without Google Translate. Wonder's drinking some vodka. Nice. Noah J is doing concerts. Oh yeah, that's right. He's doing a bunch. He's like DJing, right? I haven't talked to him in a long time. Next time you're in a stream, tell him I said hi. Elaine, I've listened to your songs since Black Ops 1, and me and my friend know the lyrics and have done the riffs and the guitar. I personally love the gift. Thank you very much. Kevin, what wine do you like? What brand? I need to know. Lately, when I was posting all those wine pictures back in 2019, I think, like everything I was getting out of 2017 and earlier from Burgundy, basically all Pinot Noir coming out of Burgundy I just couldn't get enough of it. But I haven't been drinking wine in a while because I haven't had anything I've really liked. I need to get some new stuff and make some recommendations. Sorry for coughing in your ear. Matt Heafy did a cover of Toss a Coin to the Witcher. I didn't know that. That's cool. I gotta talk to Matt. Me and Matt should do a thing or something. Do a song. If he'd want to. Elaine, I remember back in the time of the Last of Us Online streams, you always laughed at the triggered memes. Yeah. I remember that too. Those were great. Am I currently working on any songs? I am. An hour loop of Mask Walk. It should loop, I think, the way I put it on my channel. I don't know if I made it loopable. Thanks, Reaper. Would you do a remix on your own songs? Not a remix. I might do another alternate version or something. Dark Canter, I don't know about that. You ever listen to Static X? You know, I love 90s metal, you know, Cold Chamber and Static X, but I haven't listened to them in so long. I might start listening to them again. I remember being like stunned. It's actually freezing out here and I gotta get going. Talk to you guys later.